IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast. I'm Ashdin, doctor, your habit coach, and today we have a very interesting episode. It's about learning how to reinvent yourself. It is about learning how to go from one thing to another, understanding how change is taking place around you, and then figuring out how you can reinvent. We have a fantastic actor, we have a mother, and most importantly, somebody who is motivating and inspiring people all around the world. Join me in welcoming Juhi Parmar to the Habit Coach podcast. Juhi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for such warm words and such a kind, warm welcome.
I'm very excited about this because, I was going through everything that you've done and I'm like, my God, how have you done all of these things, right?
Even I think so. Oh my God.
Multiple lives would be needed for it. How time flew.
Yeah.
Is that the feeling that you get?
Yeah.
Joey, can you take us through, how your entire journey started? Like when you started acting, right? That was, I'm guessing, the primary start of everything. How did that come into being?
So I was just 12. I remember telling my parents that when I grow up, I want to be an actor. And at that time, they thought that, okay, कोई movie देख के आई है तो she must have got inspired and कल भूल जाएगी. But then I told them, I'm not saying कि मुझे heroine बनना है. Understand? I'm saying मुझे actor बनना है. This is what I want to be and this is all that I want to do. And they understood the seriousness of what I was saying.
At 12, they understood.
At 12, they understood. And they said, ठीक है, education पूरी कर लो, उसके बाद चले जाना. I said, देखो, ठीक है, ग्रेजुएशन तक तो करना मिनिमम है, बट तब तक आई डोंट वांट टू बी इन जयपुर वेटिंग बिकॉज the earlier you start as an actor the better it is because एक शेल्फ लाइफ होती है. तब तो ऐसे ही देखा जाता था. नाउ थैंकफुली अब आफ्टर बीइंग अराउंड फॉर 20+ years फिर एक नए स्टेज पे एक और डेब्यू हुआ है तो एक नई शेल्फ लाइफ मिली है. बट एट दैट टाइम ऐसा लगता था कि शेल्फ लाइफ कम होती है एक्टर्स की तो जल्दी स्टार्ट करना चाहिए. So I told them that, okay, I'll finish my school and then I'll keep doing my graduation through correspondence, but I want to go to Mumbai. And they understood that.
You showed them any action, like, you went and started studying acting, you did something?
I just knew that this is all that I wanted to be and wanted to do. I was born to be an actor. There is nothing that I ever thought of becoming. 5 साल की उम्र में सिर्फ डॉक्टर बनने की सोची थी क्योंकि डॉक्टर सेट से खेलती थी. एंड देन उसके बाद आई रियलाइज दैट व्हेन आई सी ब्लड आई फेंट. तो ऐसे ये तो नहीं हो सकता है. आई कांट डू दैट. आफ्टर दैट सीरियसली अगर इफ आई हैव थॉट ऑफ बिकमिंग समथिंग इट वाज ओनली एन एक्टर. So yeah, though I was a bright student, I used to be one of the first rankers in the class and all. But this is what I chose to be. It's not that because I couldn't do anything, I just became an actor, but I chose to be an actor. So I was very, very clear that this is what I want from my life.
And the next step was leaving Jaipur, coming to Bombay?
Coming to Bombay. And staying here, looking for work like any newcomer would. I stayed with my cousin Chacha Chachi first. Then I stayed as a PG. Went and gave auditions, multiple auditions. खाना छोड़ के भी गई हूँ auditions पे ये सोच के कि शायद यही वो रोल हो जो मेरे लिए लिखा हो types.
Are auditions addictive or are they like demotivating, motivating? How did you approach auditions?
It just depends on you how you look at it. You do get demotivated sometimes. I would not say that नहीं होता ऐसा because there are certain roles when you're auditioning you want to play that part. So you hope somewhere that ये होगा. And if that is not happening, you do get a little demotivated. But over a period of time, I came to realize that whichever project did not work for me or did not work out for me actually worked out in my favor.
Right.
Because there was something better meant for me. Had I been selected for that role, I would not be free at that time when the other role would be offered to me. And it would probably not take me there or here where I am today. So looking back, I feel everything was pre-planned by God. Certain rejections were only directions towards better things.
I love this. Rejections were directions to other things.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it really did not take very long for me to start getting work. I started with small roles. Started with one episodic role. But I knew that मुझे ये करना नहीं है, ये शुरुआत है. करना protagonist ही है.
And then straight into the GC world. right?
No, it took
Oh,
time.
it-
It took a couple of years. In fact, the GC world also was different.
Hmm.
So I belong to that generation which has seen transition at every level.
Right.
There were no daily soaps happening at that time. There were these weekly shows, and those shows were also not that popular. So it was a difficult choice to do television at that time. But I chose to do it because I always wanted to be a part of projects which I can watch with my family, and I've maintained that in these 20 years. So I did serials. I did a show called Shaheen where I played the title role of Shaheen. There were other shows that I did at that time, but during that time, TV was transitioning from weeklies to dailies, and that's when Kumkum came my way and made history.
So when you were moving from that weekly to a daily, right? What were the things that you had to change about you? Was there an aspect of you, the way that you were looking at work, the way you were looking at your life, the way you were looking at maybe the way that you were acting? Was there a transition that took place there?
No, the transition that took place was the way people looked at me. For me, I was acting with full honesty earlier also, but suddenly, and nobody knew, even I didn't know that it's going to be such a big hit. No one knows in any
Right.
case ki whatever they are planning to do is going to be hit or no. So Kumkum became an overnight success, and suddenly everything changed around me. Suddenly the way people would approach me, they would look at me. Overnight, I became someone very important for a lot of people. So it was difficult to digest it immediately because I was pretty young also at that time, and I wouldn't say that there were never days where I didn't think too much of myself. I did, because I was too young to understand what stardom brings along with it. But then over a period of time, I understood that this is just my profession. It does not give me any wings, any extra edge over other people. I am as human as
But
others.
at that point of time, you said that you didn't have that wisdom.
At
right?
that time, I didn't have initially.
So what was the feeling?
The feeling was that, oh my God, I am somebody. You do feel that way when you were too young. I was what, 19, 20?
And how do people behave around you?
People
etc.?
around me, like people coming, rushing, mobbing, clicking pictures. You really don't know how to handle it because you wanted it, but you don't know how to handle it when it comes to you suddenly. But that period lasted very long for me, where I did not know how to handle it, because it humbled me. Every time people would come to me and express their love towards me, I just felt a feeling here which made me feel thank you. Like, thank you. What did I do to deserve this?
Right.
And that made me realize that this is a part of my profession, and I'm one of those blessed people who gets these perks. In corporate, you get different kind of perks. These are the perks that you get for being popular. So I did not let it reach here, because when I came to Mumbai, the only piece of advice my parents had given me was that however high you reach in life, do not leave the ground. The day you leave the ground, you fall. And I did not let that the piece of advice leave me. So even when I did initially, for a very brief period of time, think that, oh wow, there's something great about me, I told myself that no, God has blessed you. God has chosen you to be this person. There are thousands of people out there who are more talented than you, but probably not got this opportunity. So if you've got this opportunity, you better be grateful for it and better give your best with full honesty. And that is how I looked at my work ever since it started working in my favor.
You didn't do this. You didn't get into acting to become popular. That wasn't something that you wanted. You started acting for the love of acting, or was it popularity that you also wanted?
It was primarily love for acting. I was passionate about it. But any actor who becomes an actor somewhere wants to be popular, because that's a part of it. Like, I remember this incident that I was in school and I used to write this kinetic, जो मेरी बेटी रितिका चलाती है अभी है मेरी family में. So me and my
bike?
friend, like
No,
not the same
another
bike,
version.
like, another version, but kinetic from 90s.
Correct.
So me and my friend were there, and there was some VIP coming. So we were not allowed to go on that road, and पूरी road खाली कर दी गई थी, and we were told to just stop and halt because his cars were going to come. So we were on the side, and there was a theater over there, and she was sitting behind me, and she said, that's my dream, कि जब मैं road पे आऊँ ना, तो ऐसे रोड खाली कर दिया जाए. And we were standing in front of a theater. So I looked at her and I said, and that's my dream, कि जब मैं रोड पे आऊँ ना तो भीड़ लग जाए.
I
So it
love
was
it.
quite filmy. But I think everybody who becomes an actor somewhere knows that it's going to be a part of it, and you've got to like it. If you don't like it, then it becomes very difficult to handle it, because people are going to come and talk to you because they know you.
Correct.
So you cannot shoo them away. Otherwise, you've got to be prepared for it, and it's absolutely fine. That's the biggest reward you get. If an actor is not recognized, it's the worst feeling for an actor.
And like you were saying, before the podcast started, you were talking about your fans, and you were talking about 2 amazing fan stories with me. Share one of them with the audience, because, I was feeling so, proud of what you've been through and how important fans are in our lives.
Yeah, fans, I don't even call them fans. I call them people who truly love you.
How
By
beautiful.
calling them fan, you are putting yourself on a higher pedestal, and I feel that it's not fans. They are the ones who love you, and that's called unconditional love, because you're not giving anything to them. All you're doing is doing your work and being seen on screen, and they love you.
Correct.
They cry for you, they feel for you, they pray for you. So this is something that you got to appreciate. And the experience that I was talking about was back then when I was doing Kumkum, when I was attending an event and I was on stage, and there was this man who from the audience said that my mother is your big fan, she watches your show every day and she wants to touch you, can she touch you? And I felt a little awkward about it, being touched on stage. And I was like, what does this mean? But I didn't want
Touch
to be
you?
rude.
Like, what do you
Okay,
mean?
what
Like,
was it? But I said, okay. And when she came on stage, I realized that she can't see. And I asked her, you said आप कुमकुम देखते हो? How? And she said, मैं सुन के देखती हूँ. और मुझे छू के देखना था कि मेरी कुमकुम दिखती कैसी है. And her words, they still are etched in my memory, because she said, मेरी कुमकुम दिखती कैसी. That is how much love she had for me. And she touched my face, and I was teary-eyed, and I had a lump in my throat, and I got goosebumps. So these are those moments where you should actually thank God for making you be so privileged to get so much love.
So true. The privilege of having this with you. Life during Kumkum, what was it like on set?
A riot, laughter riot.
Huh.
It was crazy. One of my favorite memories of all these years, and especially with Hussain. Hussain is... me and Hussain are Tom and Jerry. We were known as Tom and Jerry on the sets, because we would always be bullying each other, pulling each other's legs, laughing, joking. Hussain would never say anything good about me. Like, if he sees this, and he'll say, oh my God, how she's become so wise. She was not like this then. That's because he knows me from that time when life had not thrown so many challenges at me, and I was like, अरे जिंदगी तो बहुत आसान चीज़ होती है. I used to think that way. So तब मैं इतनी समझदार बातें भी नहीं करती थी. So for Hussain, it will be a shocker. So we had a great time on Kumkum Says. We were truly a family. I think I can proudly boast about it, that one show where even the technical team didn't change for 7 years, from our spot boys to our light men to our creatives to our direction team. We were there from the beginning till the end. Even if somebody left in between, came back. So one show where the team was not just about actors, but it was about all of us. We still have a WhatsApp group which is called Kumkum Family.
Wow.
Yeah.
And an active WhatsApp group, you're messaging.
Yeah, we
meet up and
congratulate
stuff.
each other. No, we don't get a chance to meet up that much, because everybody is working, and in that group we have our the sound recordist also, and our cameraman also. So ऐसा नहीं है कि उनके साथ नहीं है, सिर्फ actors का ही group है. So there is this love for each other, even if we don't meet, it will always stay.
And you all must have been every day 14 hours or 15 hours every day,
तब
right?
तो कोई पैकअप का टाइम ही नहीं होता था. 30 आवर्स भी काम किया.
30, just like...
हुसैन का शूट है, कहीं और जाना है, हाइपर में हो रही होती थी, जल्दी खत्म करो, उसको जाना है. यूज्ड टू से मुझे कभी कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता था, क्योंकि मुझे पता था यही बोल के मेरा काम टाइम पे खत्म करवा दे, क्योंकि इसको स्ट्रेस होने लगेगा कि ही हैज़ टू गो. So we were actually like a family, and we had a great time working together for 7 years. One show where there were no ladai jhagdas happening. आप सेट पे हम सिर्फ हंसते रहते थे. लाइक इतना मैं शायद अपनी लाइफ में कभी नहीं हंसी हूँ जितना मैं कुमकुम के सेट पे शूट करते हुए हंसती थी.
Wow. And then so Kumkum was 7 years,
Yeah.
right? So then after Kumkum, what all happened? So Kumkum,
After
you were at this high. Then
Kumkum happened, then I did Ye Chanda Kanun Hai, which was on Sub TV. I played Chanda in that. Then Big Boss happened. And after Big Boss, generally people expect that you would try to encash the popularity and the opportunity. But I think by then I had reached that stage where I was like, I want to become a mother. So I went on family way and I planned family, and I was blessed with a beautiful daughter after a year of that. So I took a break for 2 to 3 years because I wanted to be there for her. Then again I started working. So yeah, then I did Karm Phal Data Shani, which was again very, very popular, and I got a chance to play the double role where I played a negative character for the first time, and I really got great reviews for that. I asked Siddharth Tiwari, who's the producer, and he was even initially directing the show, that he's a very dear friend also. So I asked him, what made you cast me for a negative character? Because everybody told me that with this face of yours, you're never getting a negative role to play. So what made you cast me for Sangya? मुझे तो तुम में हमेशा से संज्ञा ही नजर आई है. Like, from where you think that I am like that?
I can see your dark side.
Yeah, he said, I saw Sangya in you. I said, okay. And thank you for seeing that, because I love Sangya more. So yeah, I had a great time doing that. Then I did another show, Tantra. Then I did Hamari Wali Good News, which was again a beautiful show. Then I took a break because in any case, in between Karm Phal Data Shani, Tantra, Hamari Wali Good News, I do take breaks because I need to give time to my daughter. Television is very, very demanding in terms of time, and I cannot not be around her. So when you're shooting, you're giving your 100% to your work. So you have to take a break so that you can give your 100% to your child as well. So I do take breaks in between. So last TV show was Hamari Wali Good News, which ended in 2021. Then I waited, wanted to give time to her. Then I wanted to explore. I was getting a lot of offers for OTT, but I was not convinced, so I didn't say yes to any. And then came Ye Meri Family, and I was like,
this is the one into OTT. That is the. In fact, that was one of my questions. Is just, how do you choose the characters that you want to play? Like
from here.
Meaning, what happens? So you're reading a script. I'm guessing that's how it happens, right? You read a script, or someone comes and tells you about it. How does it normally unfold?
No, then first they narrate the story. Script comes later. Very rarely the synopsis will come. Otherwise, mostly they will narrate it.
So you'll have a meeting, someone's telling you,
this is the story, this is how your character is. Or if they call, they'll call on the phone and they'll give you a one-liner. And if you like it, then you say, Acha, theek hai, you send me more. Like, give me, write it. Send it to me in document so that I can read it. So then they would send you the storyline. But mostly they will narrate it to you either on the phone or personally. So when you're listening to it, andar se ek feeling aani chahiye ki, okay, sounds good, I want to do it. If that feeling doesn't come, then...
But you pointed at heart, you didn't point at head, and you didn't point at gut also. So what is this heart? How do you listen to it?
I am a heart over head person.
How do you feel? How do you listen to your heart?
पता नहीं, वो फील हो जाता है अंदर. मैं बहुत फिल्मी हूँ, मुझे फील हो जाता है.
You can sense that this is something.
मेरा दिल मुझे बोल देता है कर लो, तो मैं हाँ कर देती हूँ. नहीं करता है तो नहीं करती हूँ. मैं हाँ बहुत कम बोलती हूँ, मैं ना बहुत ज़्यादा बोलती हूँ. I say no to a lot of projects because my heart is not into it.
The feeling is not there. Something's missing.
And you have to act from your heart. You cannot be acting from here. You cannot be acting from the gut also. It has to come from within. And that within is here. फिर brain involved होता है for remembering the lines. Gut involved होता है बहुत सी चीज़ों के लिए कि मेरी gut feeling के हिसाब से मुझे लगता है ऐसे कर लेना चाहिए. But heart comes first. So if your heart is not into it, don't do it.
I have no idea how you all managed to remember all those lines and mug it all up and like...
I have photographic memory. I have.
So you visualize the entire script in front of you.
So मेरा अगर कोई मेमोरी भी होगी ना, जैसे मैं आपसे अभी मिली हूँ तो आप मुझे 10 साल बाद भी मिलोगे तो मैं आपसे कहूँगी आपने पैर ऐसे रख के बैठे थे, फिर आपने ऐसे बाल ऐसे किया था और फिर आपने ऐसे ऐसे किया था, तब आपने वो बात ऐसे बोली थी.
Amazing.
क्योंकि आप झूठ नहीं बोल पाओगे क्योंकि मैं आपको विजुअली याद दिला दूंगी कि आप चल के जा रहे थे, फिर आपने पलट के ये लाइन बोली थी और फिर आप आगे गए थे. ऐसा है. सो मैं पढ़ती हूँ तो मुझे याद है. अगर आप मुझे सुनाएंगे स्क्रिप्ट तो मैं कभी डायलॉग याद नहीं कर पाऊंगी.
So you are a read,
I have to read and
then it's inside.
Then it is inside.
I want to come back to a part where you were my neighbor for 99 days in Karjat.
I was your neighbor?
Yeah, because we have a farm in Karjat. So you were in
Oh.
Karjat for 99 days. So I was
Okay.
just like taking liberties by saying we were
Okay,
neighbors at the
okay.
point. Fact is, I wasn't
वो
staying
बात
there.
अलग
But
है कि
like,
मैं जेल में थी आप फ्री थे
you could see the sky, na? But हाँ.
हाँ बस उतना ही दिखता था
So you were in this big boss house for 99 days. First question, what was your feeling going into this place?
I was very excited.
हाँ.
मुझे ना कैसे मुझे ऐसे वाले एडवेंचर नहीं पसंद आते हैं जैसे बंजी जंपिंग वंपिंग कर दो मैं वो वाला एडवेंचर नहीं कर सकती मुझे ये सब चीज़ें एडवेंचरस लगती हैं ट्राइंग टू पुट योर सेल्फ इन चैलेंजिंग अनकम्फर्टेबल सिचुएशंस एंड देन सीइंग हाउ यू डील विद इट is the kind of adrenaline rush that I look for. And for me, reality shows are the best way to experience that college time, college fest and competition wala adrenaline rush. So for me, Big Boss was something like that. And I'm a big Salman Khan fan. So he was the host. So when I was offered first, earlier that I was offered Big Boss, but I was doing Kumkum. So there was no way I could commit myself to a show for 3 months.
Correct.
But then when season 5 was offered to me, the show had got over. So there was no reason for me to say no. I was like, ye to karna hi hai. And I was very excited about it. So I went in there with full excitement.
So excitement in.
Yeah.
Then when did panic start?
Never. I had a great time. Great time in Big Boss. I did not have enemies over there. I don't have
How
even
did
a
you
single
not have
enemy.
enemies in Big
I
Boss?
don't know.
What did you
I
do?
really don't know.
Okay, so now we have to do a thesis on this. What were the things that you did that...
I should write a book. Huh?
This is...
How to survive 99 days in Big Boss.
I'm
I
telling
think
you.
it'll do really well.
Without enemies.
Without enemies.
No knives in the back that had to be removed.
I was probably one of the bolu ya probably the only participant who was not nominated for about 12 weeks in a row. I was there for 14 weeks, so 11 weeks in a row. I was nominated in week 3. And after that, I was straight nominated in week 13.
Wow.
I was not nominated only. And I used to every time expect कि अब तो nominate हो जाऊंगी but होती ही नहीं थी तो I used to really ask them, you guys underestimate me so much or what कि ये तो कभी नहीं जीतेगी इसको साइड रखो बाकी लोगों को nominate करो मैं सिर्फ पीछे रोटी बनाती रहती हूँ इसलिए तुमको लगता है कि मैं दिखती मतलब whoever used to come also ना wild card में भी I used to ask them कि भाई मैं दिखती हूँ कि सिर्फ पीछे रोटी बनाते हुए दिखती हूँ कुछ करते हुए दिखती भी हूँ कि नहीं दिखती हूँ but I think they all must be later thinking कि गलती हो गई इसको underestimate करके
Like, why did we not?
क्यों नहीं किया so I would not get nominated only because they were so busy nominating each other's enemies कि मुझे भूल जाते थे.
But were you not making friends, not making enemies, or were you making
I
friends?
had friends. I made great friends with Rageshwari, with Sunny Leone, with Akashdeep Sehgal, who was Sky. We were calling him Sky in the show because that is how he wanted to be called. I made great friends with Pooja Bedi. Of course, we all lose touch over a period of time because everybody gets busy in their lives, and once in a while you do get in touch. But I made great friends, with all of them. I had a great time.
I think that's a beautiful... I think one for YouTube video has to happen, one of these.
About this?
Yeah, you have a fantastic YouTube channel. I was watching a lot of videos from there. But this one you have to put...
This one I have
How
to.
to win Big Boss.
Right.
This has to
How
be...
to win Big Boss mein one, don't pretend. Stop trying to be somebody else because audiences are too sharp to understand that ye acting ho rahi hai. Just be yourself. But mere liye, I think what really worked was that I was not pretending to be somebody else. I called a spade a spade. That is how I am. When I didn't like something, I voiced my opinion. Instead of fighting, I would just voice my opinion.
Yeah.
And even if my bestest people were doing anything wrong, I would not side them that way, but I will stand by them.
I love it. You got all your management principles in place. So criticize in private, compliment in public. Done. That is the way to do this.
Yeah.
GEC to reality show. Mental switch needed?
It happened simultaneously because I think I did 4 reality shows in that year. I did Shawa Shawa, which was a singing reality show. I did Comedy Circus. I won that season 2. Then I did Big Boss. I did another reality show. I did Hasbal Ye. So I was doing reality show and daily soaps at the same time. Daily soap was where my passion was. Reality show was the adventure part.
The adventure part of it.
Yeah.
Because like we were saying, right, the podcast is about reinventing. And I'm sure that going into a reality show
Right.
context where it is you and not a character that
Not
you're
a
playing.
character.
Right. So now you and as Juhi have to come out.
Right.
It is
And
not.
competing. That brings out so much, that healthy competition.
I think you are a competitive
I'm
person.
very competitive.
Huh.
Even when I was called for the meeting for Big Boss, I was asked only one question, that you will do it for an experience or you will do it to win. So my reply was, I hate number 2. They said, okay, you're fit for it.
You're fine inside. So the competitive part. So now we've got our Big Boss comes out, right? Then motherhood suddenly happens.
Not suddenly. I wanted to be a
But
mother.
like motherhood, I'm being dramatic. Like few years went past and then motherhood happened.
No, not
Huh?
even few years.
You came out and
I came out, and everybody else, when comes out of Big Boss and especially wins, then they want to make the most of
Correct.
it, which is rightly so. But मेरा थोड़ा सा different setting है.
you're like, I've done this
तो
now I'll
ये
take
तो
new
मैंने कर
challenge.
लिया, अब मुझे ये करना है.
हाँ.
तो जो करना है तो करना है. तो I felt that I want to be a mother.
Nice.
So I planned a family.
So like on your Instagram you say mother first, right? It's obviously this thing that you're very, very proud of and identify with.
Yes.
So how did motherhood come and change your life? What happened?
Completely. Till the time you become a parent, you're living for yourself. The moment you become a parent, you live for your child. Your heart does not beat in your body. Your heart beats in the form of that person who's roaming around in front of you, because उसको छोटी सी भी चोट लगे, छोटा सा भी दर्द हो, छोटी सी भी तकलीफ हो, तो it hurts you multiple, many folds than that child who's in front of you. So for me, I think आज तक मैंने जो कुछ भी लाइफ में किया है, उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा डेडिकेशन जिसमें मेरी है और जिसको लेकर मैं सबसे ज़्यादा प्राउड फील करती हूँ, वो बीइंग अ मदर है. एंड आई एम सरप्राइज्ड ऑल्सो बिकॉज आई वॉज नॉट ग्रेट with kids. I was not a kid lover kind of a person. My family always thought that she's going to be below average mother because इसको बच्चे कुछ खास पसंद नहीं है. लेकिन I surprised myself. Like I surprised myself in Big Boss because I thought कि मेरे में बिल्कुल patience नहीं है, and I discovered this about myself and I invented patience
As a virtue in it.
Yeah, कि oh my God, do I have patience like that? So that way even I realized when I became
Are you
a
a
mother.
nurturing person?
Yeah, very. That
So
I
even
am.
from the start, nurturing was an aspect
Yeah,
of you.
nurturing was an aspect. मतलब loving, caring was always there. But as a mother, कि मेरे को अपना बेबी हो और उसका आप इतना ख्याल रखो, where you can forget yourself and be there for the child. इतना नहीं सोचा था. But Samaira changed my life. Like she's 10 now, और 10 साल के पहले की लाइफ में मैं I tell her many times that how did I live without you? I don't know.
Like what was my life like, right?
Yeah. Thodi.
What were some of like the biggest learnings that that you like you were saying that so many people are going through similar things in their life, who reach out to you, the people who love you reach out to you, and you're saying that I'm making these videos for them. What were the big learnings for you that you want to share with so many people in your audience?
There are too many learnings. I just feel there's an inner voice. When it is trying to tell you something, don't overlook it. Because वो जिसको आप gut बोलते हो, वो कहीं ना कहीं शायद inner voice है. And if it tells you don't get into something, listen to it. If it tells you get out of something, listen to it. Because your inner voice will never ever guide you the wrong way. And जो भी हम सीखते हैं, मुझे ये समझ में आ गया है कि even if the losses that we have are actually some kind of lessons, and it is only happening to turn you into a better human being or to put you onto the purpose. I was always looking for something in my life and I did not know what it is, and I did not know what spirituality is, which I realized in past couple of years how beautiful it is to be spiritual. And spirituality for me does not mean giving up on your lifestyle, going and sitting on a mountain and just doing probably meditating. No, I meditate. But I don't have to leave this worldly life for it and go there. It comes from within. And that understanding, I think, made so many things clear for me. I had a very, very big incident which I shared on my Instagram, and I don't know if you know about it. I call this my second life because on 19th March 2019, it was the night of Holi, I was almost gone.
Wow.
Okay, I was in the hospital and I was in ICU. Food had got stuck in my nose and this windpipe, and I was not able to breathe. And it was a very, very difficult night. But that night just changed something in me. I was always grateful, but that night changed me grateful forever. When I used to read books and I used to write, there was a book I was reading which said, okay, every day you have to write these many things that you're grateful for. One day I wrote, 2 days I wrote, third day. Then मुझे लगा अब और क्या लिखूं? मतलब घर भी लिख दिया, ये भी लिख दिया, करियर भी लिख दिया, हेल्थ भी लिख दिया, क्या लिखूं? But after that day, the list is endless. First, I'm breathing, I'm grateful. I'm able to talk to you, I'm grateful. I'm able to speak exact words that I want to say. I'm able to translate my thoughts to you. I'm grateful for that. I could drink coffee, I'm grateful. My system is digesting food, I'm grateful. The list is endless. So that night changed something in me which made me realize, till then I had a lot of complaints. Till then I had questions like, why me? Why did I go through this? What did I do to deserve this? I have not cheated anybody. I have not harmed anybody. Why did I go through certain experiences which I didn't ask for? I didn't deserve it. But after that night, that whole shift happened where I was like, it's okay. It could have been worse. I got out of it in a much earlier stage maybe, and in much lesser. ज़्यादा नुकसान हो सकता है ज़िंदगी में आपका. So, like that night, I could have died. I'm still alive. And I'm alive because of my daughter. Because I fought with God and I said, please, more than fighting, I would say I begged that, please, for my daughter, don't take me. So it was like that. So since that night, I've never looked back. I don't complain. I don't complain about things that go wrong in my life. कभी कभी छोटा मोटा हो जाता है, इंसान हूँ, ऐसा नहीं कि मॉन्क बन गई हूँ, नहीं हूँ, लेकिन वो आई ब्रिंग माई सेल्फ बैक ऑन ट्रैक. I may probably 2 days be in a cribbing zone that, no, this is not right, this is it. But third day, I'll only tell myself, hello, excuse me, you're forgetting what you promised yourself, and I bring myself back on track. So I think that thought, to answer your question, made me feel that I realized and learned something through a very, very hard way. Let me share it with people as much as I can so that they may understand it without experiencing it the hard way. If I am able to help even a single person, why not? So I try to motivate people. I try to tell them it's okay. I talk about self-love. I talk about how to deal with challenges, how to not get bogged down with judgments, because I have faced too many judgments and I still face them every day.
How do you deal with judgment?
Now I don't give them importance. Earlier it used to hurt. I would not lie. It used to really hurt because people would write blatantly, she's the one who's done this, she's the one who's like this, she's the one who must have that. All I felt like asking in return was that, have you lived with me?
Do you know me at all? Like what?
Like, how do you know what went wrong where? And who's done what? What gives you the right to be this self-proclaimed judge who's writing openly on public platforms? It used to hurt and bother earlier, but now it doesn't. Now I pity them. I pity them for being so judgmental.
Where did that switch happen?
That night.
Was it that night? Huh?
It was that night which changed everything. It was that night.
Amazing. This getting over judgment, especially for you, because you're in the public eye so much,
Yeah,
must
yeah.
have been a big...
In being in the public eye, and to be very honest, the moment a woman gets divorced, all the arrows are towards
Must be your fault
her and
only,
tuck. To start feeling bad, we don't have to work at it. To not feel bad about something, we have to work at it. It's very easy to start feeling dejected and negative. It's very difficult to keep feeling motivated. So मेहनत नहीं होती है as humans हमसे ना, मुझसे भी नहीं होती थी. But it took me time to reach here, and I'm in a very, very peaceful, happy state.
And the mehnat is in looking at the positives in everything that's around you.
Yeah.
Who are
And
the
also the
supporters?
fact that I am a role model to my child. What example am I setting? If I behave like this, what am I teaching her? Children don't listen to you, they watch you. It is said everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I want my child to watch me and want to grow into a good human being. So it is very important for me to set an example in action, not in words.
This is so powerful. So I have a children's book that is coming out. So it's
Okay.
a children's book on 8 habits for children, 6 to 9-year-olds.
Okay.
But the whole thing is that the child learns from watching the parent do these
Yes.
things, right? And it is
Yes.
always that you watch when the parent is doing something and you learn from this.
Smallest of example, my daughter was doing this a few days back, and I was like, ये इतनी छोटी है अभी, इस वक्त तो shape ऐसा है, you know.
Yeah.
She's at a stage, I don't want ये knuckles break करने की आदत पड़ जाए. So I said, why are you doing this? From where have you picked it up? She said, you. And I was like, ouch. Okay, I'm sorry. Then I told her, listen, but it's not going to do any changes to my fingers now, but your bones are growing. Don't do this to yourself. So this is such a small thing which she picked from me.
Correct.
And I did not even realize it that she's picking it from me. I'm doing it in front of her. So the same way they pick habits in terms of characters also. So it is so important to set the right example in front of them. And I never used to think like that, honestly. I don't want to sound like some Mahan Baba who has attained nirvana in life. No, I am as human and as imperfect as anybody, and I still make mistakes every day. But I try to bring myself back on track. That much I do.
You know, Juhi, the thing is that at least you're conscious about the mistakes that you're making.
That's
or the
all.
conscious
Yeah,
about the
I'm
way
aware.
that you're living.
I'm
that
aware.
awareness is
Bas.
where the change starts. The awareness is where the battle's won or lost.
I still do mistakes. There are times that I lose my cool. It's not that I don't. I'm not claiming to be somebody who's reached at some stage. No. I'm probably at the lowest stage of evolving. But I'm trying to. And that is what keeps me going. If I make a mistake, I go and say sorry to my child.
Right.
I apologize to her. And even when I share parenting videos, that is what I say, that a child deserves as much respect as an adult. Just because he or she is a child and you shout at them and you feel, मैं तो parent हूँ, मुझे sorry बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, नहीं. You need to apologize because these are the traumas which set in a child in the childhood, जो बड़े होके will take a different shape. So why not to nip it in the bud then and there?
I think as a parent, the most important thing is to realize that the generational traumas that are happening, grandparents, parents, it has to end with you.
It
so
has
you
to end.
don't
It
pass
has
it
to
down
end.
to the next generation.
I'm trying my best. Even if something is passed on, it will be very, very minuscule.
Hopefully, we have no
Hopefully.
idea what we end up doing to our
Exactly.
children.
Exactly. So I'm hoping.
No,
I'm
fingers
trying my
crossed.
best to not pass on that trauma to her because we all end up doing it unknowingly. Our parents want to do the best for us. But वो generational trauma carry हो जाता है.
You were talking about how people learn through observation. Okay. So many times when I'm talking to people, I hear aspects of dramas that they've seen on TV that they are recreating in their own lives. Right? You've seen it on TV, so you believe that family is supposed to be like this.
Right.
Love is supposed to be like this. One fight amongst the parents and like how we say Saas Bahu serials, or that is supposed to happen. So in my house also it's supposed to happen, so I'll start creating it.
Right.
And it's so interesting to see how we pick this up from our shows and TV.
My God, it is dangerous.
No, have you ever encountered
so
this? Have you
dangerous.
thought about this already?
No, I didn't think about it, but I know this much that people take us seriously. So it is a social responsibility to make sure that is one of the strong reasons why I've never been a part of a show which is not giving a good message, which I feel can be conveying something wrong or misleading people. I refuse to be a part of those kind of shows. Even if there is something which is not right in the beginning, has to lead it to the point where we say कि वो गलत था भाई यही सही है. So
Have a learning in the end.
yeah.
Because now you're on the OTT platform. How is this life different from our GEC life?
Very different. Simply because it is just 5 episodes. We've not even started in
And
5
so-
episodes. In GEC, 5 episodes is we've not even started.
Establishing.
अभी तो चल रहा है, अभी तो मतलब कैरेक्टर्स भी नहीं आए होंगे, या एक्टर्स आर ऑल्सो स्टिल ट्राइंग टू गेट इट राइट कि क्या सूट लगाऊं, ये लगाऊं कि ये लगाऊं, ये सही लग रहा है, आई थिंक कैरेक्टर ऐसा होना चाहिए. यू नो, वी आर स्टिल डिस्कवरिंग आवरसेल्व्स इन फर्स्ट 5 एपिसोड्स. क्या 10-15 एपिसोड तो यूं ही निकल जाते हैं. फिर इज हियर 5 एपिसोड्स एंड इट्स ओवर. So you have to be precise, you have to be so sure of how you want the character to be played, how your equation with your co-actors is going to be presented on screen. So how you have to work towards that, the chemistry of characters, minute details has to be worked upon beforehand. Whereas we do have those rehearsals and all in TV also, but it is more of practical learning, which over a period of days you realize, okay, this is how we want it to be set up. So it is very different. Also, when you're starting in television, you don't even know how many years you're committing yourself to, because कब तक चलेगा शो पता ही नहीं है. Whereas OTT तो पता है कि okay, these 15 days, 20 days you're going to shoot and then you're free. Then you're straight required when you have promotions. So
months later.
Or some people, like there are some friends of mine who've shot for a series last year in July. They're still waiting for it to release.
Wow.
So 1 साल से shoot करके अभी बैठे, they're still waiting. So OTT is different. Here TV is chat mangni pat bya.
What does that mean? Please translate.
You don't know that?
Parsi. I'm
Okay.
like, हाँ.
चट मंगनी पट पिया मतलब इधर engagement हुई, इधर शादी हो गई.
Okay.
तो इधर you get selected, इधर you start shooting, इधर you are on air. चलो.
Everything fast.
ऐसा होता है. Which does not happen in OTT.
And so now in this phase of your life, what would you prefer?
See, I can't be ungrateful to television.
हाँ.
Okay. वो मतलब जो है जहाँ हूँ वो उसी की वजह से हूँ. But yes, having said that, at this stage in life where I want to give more time to my daughter, OTT works better for me in terms of time, for sure. Because the requirement of staying away from home is very less. There, once a show is on, I leave in the morning, I come in the night. Being the protagonist, the lead, you end up shooting 25, 27 days a month. It is exhausting. It does not leave you with any time. Even if you have to be there for your child's school function, you have to really fight for that adjustment, because they're genuinely not able to give it. उनका telecast अटका हुआ है. हर चीज़ telecast. You always are, fighting for time and days. Which now I want to take it slow, because मैं ही हूँ, मतलब she has one parent and I've got to be there for her. That is the reason मैं 2 shows के बीच में gap भी इतना लेती हूँ. So I feel कि OTT works better for me in terms of days also. Also, it gives me more opportunities to explore as an actor.
Yeah.
And showcase my talent and show that side of me as an actor, which is completely unexplored till now. Because television somewhere has limitations कि अगर protagonist है तो अच्छी ही होगी, बुरी नहीं हो सकती.
Do they like to think about like typecasting and stuff like that? Is
Typecasting नहीं, मतलब वो अच्छी ही होती है ना, like हीरोइन अच्छी ही होती है, वो बुरी कैसे हो सकती है. पर OTT में तो मेन कैरेक्टर जो है वो बुरा भी हो सकता है. So there is so much more to try and experiment and satiate the actor in you कि अच्छा मैंने ये भी try किया है. So I'm at that stage where I'm getting also interesting offers. If you commit to a TV show, then you definitely can't take up any other OTT work, because you're committed to a TV show. 25-27 days you're shooting, there's no time left for anything else. That is one of the reasons I couldn't say yes to some very interesting shows that were offered to me then when I was doing a television show. So I feel that, yeah, as of now, I'm in a very good space, and I would like to do more of OTT. Having said that, if something really interesting comes up, I may consider TV also.
Like how do you prepare for like OTT? You're going up there. You are, like you said, it is very, you have to be precise in this. What is your method? Do you have a method for practicing, like?
तो मैं ना मेथड एक्टर नहीं हूँ. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मुझे पता ही नहीं होता है व्हाट एम आई गोइंग टू डू इन द टेक. टिल रिहर्सल आई एम ओनली माउथिंग माई लाइन्स. I do not,
zero expressions have happened.
I do not put emotions in it. I'm just saying my lines in a basic tone. When it is action, that's when I do whatever comes naturally to me. Then when that take is okay, then I am repeating myself in my close-ups and all that. But the first take, I never know that in this word the pitch is going to go where, or here I'm going to take a pause. I'm not a method actor at all. I let myself be. More than act, I react.
Okay.
I put myself in that situation and I think that if I was in this situation, how would I react and what would I do? And I do that. So, and all these years, that is what I have done. I have never known till the first take has happened that this is how I will do this scene.
But even like roles that are maybe opposing to your personality, like the negative role that you were talking about earlier,
That also.
still came from, it's not like I am now a negative person doing
I
this
have to do this.
in this way. I have to twirl my mustache.
वो कर भी नहीं सकती. But I have to do this. वो सब नहीं, वो मैं सोचती नहीं हूँ.
So it's not that I have to like have this now,
नहीं.
this angle to
हाँ, वो
it.
करके when you're playing a character over a period of time, अगर कोई चीज़ बहुत पॉपुलर हो जाती है या कोई चीज़ एक स्टाइल स्टेटमेंट बन जाता है उस कैरेक्टर का, या उसका एक कोई वो होता है ना, एक उसकी पर्सनालिटी के साथ जाती है वो
Correct, an
चीज़ जो
element
कि
of the
हाँ
person.
एक चीज़ है जो हाँ ये this belongs to her. She will do this at some stage or other. तो वो you may repeat and you may want to keep that with you. But more or less कैसे परफॉर्म करना है वो करते करते ही मैं करती हूँ. मैं कभी पहले से प्लान नहीं कर पाती. प्री प्लान नहीं करना आता.
Can't plan it in the head. It has to happen at that point of time. This is amazing. Juhi, I've
प्लानिंग यहाँ से होती है ना.
planning. Oh, so this have all from the
Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. So you rather just live and enjoy it to the most when you're in it, whichever situation you're in.
I love it. I love it. Enjoy the plan. Don't worry about the plans. Enjoy life right now as it's happening.
Yeah, मतलब 5 years from now किसको पता? I mean, who's going to wake up till when? We don't know. 19th March has taught me a lot. कि सबसे बड़ा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस हमारा होता है क्या है बताइए? What is the biggest over confidence
I'll
का
never die.
example?
I'll never die.
No. We put an alarm every night. We're so confident that इतने बजे बजेगा और मैं तो उठूंगा.
I'm going to be awake.
That's the
love
biggest
it.
overconfidence. So you rather live each day, how many ever days God has granted you, live those days beautifully. That is what I believe in now. मैंने फिल्मों में बड़ा सुना है, जैसे आपने कहा it stays with you, तो this thing stays with me. जिंदगी लंबी नहीं, क्या होनी चाहिए? सुंदर होनी चाहिए, या क्या क्या बोलते हैं वो फिल्म में? कुछ तो बोलते हैं हाँ, जिंदगी बड़ी नहीं, कुछ तो होनी चाहिए, कुछ तो भूल रही हूँ. आई एम सो सॉरी आई स्पॉइल्ड इट, बट ऐसा फिल्मों में सुना है ना कि इट्स नॉट अबाउट हाउ लॉन्ग योर लाइफ इज.
The problem is you hadn't got the script, na, so you hadn't seen it. You was by
सुना हुआ ना, याद नहीं रहता. अब ये पढ़ा होता ना तो मैं कभी नहीं भूलती, कभी नहीं भूलती.
3 habits that you're very proud of in your life.
3 habits.
I know I lied about the last question, but like this is now
Okay, one,
second last.
that I'm honest. I don't lie. I call a spade, and I'm very proud to be honest. 2,
Not even white lies. There was lots of traffic when actually like makeup was taking a long time.
नहीं, बहुत गंदी लायर हूँ मैं.
Everyone
बहुत
can see
गंदी
it.
लायर हूँ. It will show on my face and how will be like अच्छा गंदी एक्टिंग कर रही हो. सारी एक्टिंग सिर्फ कैमरा के लिए.
कैमरा के लिए.
दूसरा प्राउड हूँ that I am a responsible person. I take responsibilities of things and मैं पूरी करती हूँ उन्हें. मैं बिल्कुल irresponsible नहीं हूँ, चाहे वो काम हो
So your
चाहे
commitments you
personal life.
complete.
Yeah. एक बार कमिटमेंट कर दी तो फिर मैं किसी की नहीं सुनती. सलमान खान डायलॉग.
Well, odd.
And the third one, I'm proud of, like habit you're saying?
Something that you do that is a part of you every morning, every day, something that is an action or a thought that you take.
That I try to better myself every day than what I was yesterday.
How do you do that? Do you actually consciously spend time thinking?
Yeah, I don't spend time thinking. I spend time being aware. I don't have to think. If I'm doing something which is not feeling right, मुझे उसी वक्त फील हो जाता है कि ये ना मैंने सही नहीं किया, and I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have reacted this way, or I shouldn't have said this. And I try not to repeat that. So I'm aware and I try to better myself. I think
That awareness of time.
that is important and I'm proud of that.
Last one. What is a habit that you want to change?
That I want to change. Oh, बहुत सारी हैं, बहुत सारी हैं. सुबह जल्दी नहीं उठना मुझे पसंद है. आई विश आई कुड चेंज दैट. हमेशा एक्सक्यूजेस ढूंढती हूँ मैं वर्कआउट ना करने के. कर लेती हूँ फिर भी, लेकिन फिर भी मुझे लगता है कि अच्छा कल से, अच्छा ये, अच्छा वो. सो आई वुड वांट टू चेंज दैट हैबिट. आई वुड वांट टू बी मोर कंसिस्टेंट विद माई वर्कआउट्स. बहुत सारी हैबिट्स
बहुत सारी.
बहुत
I love
सारी
it.
हैं.
चेंज वाले बहुत सारे हैं.
हाँ मतलब
Proud वाले
में फिर भी लिमिट बताऊँ. चेंज वाले तो बहुत सारे हैं. कितनी सारी गलतियाँ करता है इंसान, बहुत सारी.
Juhi, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was
Thank you.
absolute pleasure talking to you.
Same here.
And this
I
is your
will
first
remember this
podcast.
interview.
You will remember this interview.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
IVM